So for today's class, we did a scavenger hunt looking at the Constitution. Now, if you are watching this video because you were absent, I am very aware that you could just fill in the answers using my voice and you'd get the worksheet done. That's all well and good. However, I'm going to encourage you to think a little more big picture here. Is it safe to say that you're going to need to know the Constitution really well to get a 3, 4, or 5 on your exam in May? You know what the answer is, and it all comes out in the wash in the end. So I'm going to trust everybody to do the right thing. So I'm assuming you've done your best and you are just checking for answers, and let me give you the answers to this scavenger hunt. Okay, so number 1 reads, this amendment allowed alcohol to be consumed again after 13 years of prohibition. 21st Amendment. This article states the provision for getting an amendment passed. Article 5. This amendment states what the pay of Congress members will be. The 27th Amendment, our most recent amendment when I was a senior in high school. Okay, number 4, this amendment states that the people must pay income taxes to pay for services the government provides. That's the 16th Amendment. Number 5, I think everybody gets number 5. Americans can have guns to use, and that right is protected according to this amendment. That's the 2nd Amendment. Number 6, with the passage of this amendment, slavery is no longer permitted in America. That's the 13th Amendment. Now, 13th, 14th, and 15th, we clump them together as the Civil War Amendments. Number 7, the president and vice president die, the Speaker of the House takes over because it states this in the following amendment, and that's the 25th Amendment about succession. Okay. Number 8, this article states what the executive power can do in order to enforce the laws of the land. That is Article 2. Number 9, this amendment states that U.S. senators will get elected through a popular election. That's the 17th Amendment. Number 10, there's nothing in the Constitution regarding regulating hunting and fishing, so Michigan determines rules on both. This is because of which amendment? And that is the 10th Amendment, okay? Powers not expressly at the federal level drop to the state level, and then those drop to the local level. So we have 3 levels of governance, that mix together. That's federalism. Okay, number 11. Military troops cannot barge in and take your property or lodge themselves in your house because of this amendment. That is the 3rd Amendment. But bigger than that, we separate the military from civilians. They don't blend together. Number 12, this article sets forth how states relate to each other and sets forth the full faith and credit clause. That is Article 4. Okay, number 13, this amendment establishes what rights all citizens enjoy after the Civil War was fought. So that is the 14th Amendment. Again, 13, 14, and 15, Civil War amendments. Number 14, this is the final of the 3 Civil War amendments and describes who had the right to vote, and that is the 15th Amendment. Okay, number 15, this article states the national law is the supreme power in this country. That is Article 6. Number 16, 18-year-olds can vote due to the ratification of this amendment. That is the 26th Amendment. And if you think about the Vietnam years, there was a stretch that you were young enough to fight for this country and die for this country, but you couldn't vote. So that was the rationale for that change of the 26th Amendment. Number 17, President Clinton wanted to run for a 3rd term. He wasn't allowed to because of this amendment, the 22nd Amendment. You can only have 2 terms. So I know in U.S. history you saw that President Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt, had 4 terms. That won't happen again because of the 22nd. Okay, number 18. A criminal will never be tortured in America, no matter how bad they are, because of this amendment. And that is the 8th Amendment, no cruel and unusual punishments. Number 19. This article states what the legislative branch can and should do. That is Article 1. Number 20. I cannot look into your purse or wallet without your consent because of which amendment? That's the 4th Amendment, the searches and seizures. Number 21, this amendment states how the election of president and vice president will take place. Now that is the 12th Amendment. Okay, now 22, this amendment describes and gives rules on the commencement of terms. That is the 20th Amendment. That was a bit of a hard one to find. Number 23, people in Washington, D.C. are allowed to vote because of this amendment. That is the 23rd Amendment. Okay, number 24, this article lists the ratification of the Constitution. Article 7. We're not going to fiddle with that one too much when the time comes when we're learning about the articles. Okay, number 25. My mom, aunt, and grandmother can vote because of this amendment. Hey, they're all women. Okay. Oh, yeah. 19th Amendment. So, okay. Number 26. This article sets forth what the judicial branch can and should do. That is Article 3. Number 27. For 13 years, people had to illegally get alcohol. This amendment caused it to happen. That was the 18th Amendment. We had a prohibition of alcohol for 13 years. Number 28. You are all free to worship how you want. You can state your opinions, read what you want, and express that you're upset with the government because of this amendment. So, this is the First Amendment. Number 29, you cannot be tried for the same crime twice due to this amendment. That is the Fifth Amendment or Due Process Amendment. Number 30, if accused of a criminal matter, you will receive a quick and speedy trial because of this amendment. That is the Sixth. Now, if you are involved in a civil case, you will also receive a quick and speedy trial because of this amendment. That is the Seventh. Number 32. This amendment says there are other rights that people have that are not listed in the Constitution. This is also known as enumeration. That is the Ninth Amendment, or as I call it, the most confusing amendment. That's the one I struggled with as a student. Hopefully, you can do better than me. And two more here. Number 33, poll taxes cannot be used in voting due to this amendment being ratified. That is the 24th Amendment. And finally, Charlie the Canadian or Brazilian Bob cannot sue America because of this amendment. That is the 11th Amendment. Okay, so that's more of the nuts and bolts, and we're gonna get into some detail. It's still early in the year, but then after we filled these in, I had some questions that I wanted you to think about. And number one, what rights are given to you in the Bill of Rights? And I made it personal because to me it's a gift. The Bill of Rights is a gift. And I have rights, you have rights. What rights are given to you in the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments of our Constitution? Number two, the word citizen comes from the Roman word civitas. It means all of the people, okay? So this meant that you were an involved, concerned part of a larger group. How does the 14th Amendment relate to this concept? Okay, so the 14th Amendment, in my opinion, is a very important amendment to dig your nose into. Two more here. The Constitution valued individualism. What individual rights do you have as an American citizen? Provide examples and evidence from the Constitution that reflect this desire to respect individual rights. And finally, this nation is founded upon a notion of pluralism, a word you may or may not know. I'm guessing you don't know this word, but what pluralism means is that we are quite different with a collective goal. If you look at America, we have people from all over the world, all walks of life, all different persuasions, but we should have a common goal to make this country the best we can. That's pluralism. You probably know that from English class, plural versus singular, right? So anyway, what examples and evidence can you find in the Constitution that revalues or that reflects the value of pluralism? Okay, so hopefully this helped you navigate the Constitution. I hope you knew a lot of these, but if not, we'll make sure we are good on these. And again, I appreciate everybody who went legit and didn't cheat by filling it in. It will pay off in May. So thank you for watching.